Well, good evening, cats. This is DJ Walker from your local WKRP station coming to you live from the Georgia Gwinnett campus. Tonight's subject review is classical fusion. So, what is classical fusion that is taking our campus by storm? Well, lucky for you, I brought someone special back from the hereafter to understand what this is about, this new style. In the studio, we have Ludwig van Beethoven, and here he is.
Glad to be here. These bones be stiff and thine a little dusty, I suppose.
Well, glad to have you here. Can you tell us about this new popular concept called classical fusion?
Well, my young sir, it's a very good question. Classical fusion refers to the hybrid musical style created through the merging of either jazz, rock, disco, hip-hop, etc., and is often considered more of an electronic techno music rather than a classical style.
Very cool, very cool. I have a sample from more modern Judge Judy from her opening. They mixed Beethoven's Fifth Symphony No. 1, which has been fused with electronic music, making it sort of a fusion, classical and electronic music. So, where did the idea of blending two styles of music originate?
I just love it being brought forward from in time 300 years. I believe classical fusion might have started just in the 1950s to 1960s. But was also included with such 70s bands who often would like to use classical motifs in their music. Who would have thought that our old compositions would make this new kind of comeback?
Wow, dude. It's like recycling or upcycling, something like that. Classical fusion is a long tradition that has been fit to all sorts of music styles. For example, jazz has a huge influence on rock stars like Billy Haley and the Comets, Chuck Berry, the Grateful Dead, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, the Who, and even a large influence on funk groups like The Cool and Gang of the Earth, Earth, Wind and Fire, and various other rap artists. Remixing has happened throughout society, and making arrangements of popular tunes, even classical tunes, thus has been an interesting twist to the original piece.
Yes, indeed. As a good precedent, I've written the famous Allegro con Brio Symphony, which was a massive success. Since then, multiple individuals have cited to my work and reworked into various pieces of music of comicals and other works that I cannot begin to describe.
Totally, they're borrowing your sounds, man. Let our listeners hear some of your tunes remixed. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Beethoven's Symphony No. 5, Allegro con Brio. Wow, amazing. That sounded like something out of this world. Classical fusion often makes classical music popular for many audiences, including those who like rock, hip-hop, etc. It brings to your work a whole another generation. The unique opportunity allows for popular artists to take style with an unpopular style. The offense, of course, little do, but of course you've been eating worms for a while and reach a larger mass audience.
I personally have reinvented and resurrected, but who's counting? I prefer myself as timeless.
Okay, dude, I think getting this classical fusion now. What's the difference between that and classical crossover? After all, they are very two different types of subjects.
So we refer to the classical crossover as a way to describe a performer who arranges their music with a strong classical influence, even with a very popular marketable image to reach a wider range of people. There are tons of genres who will use a classical tune. One tune that comes to mind perhaps is Luciano Pavarotti, the great Italian opera performer. He actually sang an aria, Nessun Dorma, at a huge sporting event. It was the Olympics in Torino, Italy. Most people believe that the opera is a type of music for only the elite. But he sang this piece, and it got really popular despite the fact that he wasn't necessarily a pop star. Of course, some scholars might believe that the tune Nissan Dorma became popular again when it was sang on such a reality TV shows. For example, America's Got Talent. They seem to have always been someone sing this or some other classical area out of ordinary.
I'm on it, man. Let's hear it right from the opera acts of America's Got Talent. So, what are you saying that this classical fusion blends two sounds or genres together in music, and that classical crossover has made it more to do with using classical music in unexpected arenas?
Right on. Well done. You're getting it. Either way, I've been brought back.
Awesome sauce. But have I concluded the broadcast just yet?
No.
Okay, last question. I'll let you go rest, or eternally rest. Why do you think classical fusion has taken off popular today?
Another good question, my good man. Our music from the classical era is timeless. It's recognizable and people remember it when they hear it. When you fuse it together with more modern sounds, it's like bringing the past and present together. Something comforting from the past with something new makes something original again. Additionally, we make good music.
Dang, yo, this is legit. Well, I'd like to thank you, sir, for being on the show with us, and see you next time in musical heaven.
Of course, I'm happy to talk, but really, I do need to go get some eternal rest. This is a very bizarre world you and I are living in.
Of course. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. It has been a wonderful evening having an interview with the famous deceased composer. And with the idea of classical fusion, I'm sure that their ideas become relevant in all things this century. Have a good night, and let's go Grizzlies.